As your high school senior gets ready to head to college this fall, you might want to give them an introductory lesson on handling their own finances. Thousands of students find themselves in credit card debt soon after arriving on campus. For some advice on how students can avoid the financial pitfalls, I talked to Sanyika Calloway Boyce, author of Crack the Code. Sanyika, let's talk a little bit about how college students and credit cards can be a volatile situation.
Well, you know, my mess is my message. I went to college, graduated with $15,000 in unsecured debt. Now, that might seem like a lot for the average college student, which is usually about $5,000 in debt coming out of college. But it's very easy to get tempted, particularly when you're dealing with your friends who are on campus and it seems like their lifestyle is outpacing yours, or maybe you have friends that are at home that look like they're kind of living the lifestyle that you want to live, and you're struggling in college. So credit cards, that's the answer. I'll get it, I get to go on spring break, get to buy great clothes, look really great on campus, but you have to realize that you do have to pay the bill.
Eventually, you do have to pay it back. Now, I remember when I was in college, there were kiosks all over the campus, all over the time, like get a free t-shirt, sign up here. What do we need to do as a society, as parents, to let college kids know, like, what needs to happen so that they don't realize, they don't think that this is just something like free money? Right.
Well, you know what? The first thing is education. Credit is not evil. I think that we go to two extremes when we're talking about dealing with money, particularly credit. It's like stay away from it. We all know someone who's been in a bad situation with credit. It's not evil. It's a necessary thing, but you have to understand it's not cash. You have to pay it back, and usually you're paying it back with a lot of interest. Understand that that pizza or beer that you go out and buy is going to cost you 6 to 7 times more than the day you purchased it on. So just understanding that credit is important, it's necessary, and it's even more important outside of college than it is getting it while you're in.
Right. So now you're going to have people who say, well, I still need money. I mean, I still want to go out and do things, but I'm a college student, so I don't have a lot of free time. What can college students do to actually generate some money for themselves?
There's a lot of things you can do, especially right on campus. I mean, everybody knows that we're time poor, and we're operating in a time poor society. How many of us took the time to pay attention in typing class? Easy money right there, because most people didn't. Term papers to go. Another great thing is a lot of colleges, particularly the campus that I went to, didn't have after-hour delivery services. We all know someone who has a craving for Chinese food at 11 o'clock at night. You know, do a little express service to go. Post your list up. Hey, I'll go to the Chinese store, I'll go to the 7-Eleven, wherever. Bring the food back for you. Another great thing is streaming lectures. How many of us have forgotten to go to class or couldn't quite get up in time?
Right.
Get permission to tape the class.
Let's talk also about what happens if you do get your credit messed up. What should a young person, we're looking at some young people here who obviously would benefit from this book, but what should they do to help try to get that back in check?
Well, if you've gone down that slippery slope, the first thing is communication. Usually we like to avoid things. And so when the creditors start to call, we pretend we're our roommates and we start ducking things. Talk to the creditors. They want to know if you get yourself in a situation that you can't pay for. They want to know that, okay, I know I owe you $50, I'm going to send you $25 this week, and here's when I'll send you the rest. Make a payment arrangement with them. They're going to be a lot more willing to keep you as a customer, keep your credit line open, and to work with you if you openly and honestly communicate with them up front at the beginning. That's the very first step. The next thing is understand, again, that cash and credit are two very different things. You need to know that when you're using a credit card, you're responsible for paying it back. Be very cautious and ask yourself in each purchase, if you've got $20 in one pocket and a credit card in the other, and the item you're looking for is $20, ask yourself, if I had to pay for this in cash and all I had was $20, would I still buy it? And use that as a check and balance when you're dealing with credit. Again, education is the first key, though. Knowing what your fine print says as well. Knowing when your finance charges are going to hit. Knowing when your payment is due. We operate in this world of technology, but if your payment is due on the 15th, you can't mail it on the 15th and expect for it to be
And on top of it, then you're going to get late fees on top of it, so you're going to even have to pay more. I mean, there's so much you can talk about, but it's definitely a dangerous time in life where you can really get those credit cards and just let it get out of hand. So it's great to see someone taking a look at it. We talk about it a lot here. Thank you so much for talking to us today. Sanyika Calloway Boyce, author of Crack the Code.